Subscribe to the Legacy of Survival channel right now, because what you're about to hear isn't recycled war trivia or romanticized nostalgia. This is about hard-earned civilian survival knowledge that millions depended on to stay alive, while governments quietly buried the lessons once peace returned. If you care about real history, not sanitized museum displays, and if you believe survival knowledge matters just as much today as it did in 1940, then stay with me for the next minute, because what follows will change how you look at modern preparedness forever. During the Second World War, civilians were not passive victims waiting for rescue. Across Europe, Asia and beyond, ordinary people developed survival systems so effective that post-war governments had strong incentives to suppress or forget them. These methods proved that communities could endure scarcity, bombing, displacement, and state failure with minimal centralized control. That was an uncomfortable truth in the age of expanding bureaucracies. So much of it quietly disappeared from official narratives. Tonight, we're bringing those lessons back into the open. Blackout discipline wasn't just about curtains, it was about behavior. People learned when to move, when to stay silent, and, well, how to avoid drawing attention in chaotic environments. In occupied territories, blending in meant survival. Resistance members and ordinary citizens alike adopted neutral clothing, avoided patterns of movement, and controlled emotional reactions in public spaces. This knowledge applies directly to modern instability. In any crisis, standing out increases risk. Practice situational neutrality. Dress to match your environment, avoid predictable routines, and, understand when visibility becomes liability. WWII. Civilians survived by being forgettable, not heroic. Why civil defense training was more advanced than we admit. Organizations such as the Civil Defense trained civilians in fire suppression, first aid, and structural damage control. Ordinary people knew how to stabilize buildings, treat blast injuries, and manage mass casualties long before professional responders arrived. Post-war, much of this training was abandoned as societies outsourced safety to institutions. You can reclaim this skill set now. Learn basic trauma care, fire control, and structural safety principles. WWII. Civilians didn't wait for help, they became the help. That mindset, not equipment, is the real survival advantage. How governments erased these lessons and why they matter now. After 1945, survival knowledge became inconvenient. It reminded people they didn't need constant oversight to endure hardship. Educational systems shifted towards specialization. Consumer culture replaced conservation, and survival skills were rebranded as backward or paranoid. Yet history shows that civilians who retained this knowledge passed it down quietly, often within families. You don't need to wait for collapse to benefit from these lessons. Start documenting skills, testing systems, and teaching others. Survival knowledge only works if it's practiced before it's needed. The final lesson, WWII civilians understood better than we do. The most important survival secret isn't food, shelter, or tactics. It's adaptability. WWII civilians survived because they accepted reality quickly and adjusted without sentimentality. They didn't wait for things to go back to normal. They built a new normal immediately. If you found value in this, subscribe to the Legacy of Survival channel and share this with someone who still believes preparedness is optional. History already tested these lessons. The only question is whether we're willing to learn from them before we're forced to.